Hey, what's up everybody? ESAM here bringing you another video. This one going to be my tournament wrap-up for Shine 2017 that happened this last weekend in Boston, Massachusetts. So, first off, that city's great, and it was a tournament that second year running, and it is going to be Wii U singles, I entered Wii U singles and Wii U doubles. There was also so there was both Wii U, there was Melee, there were a bunch of fighting games, there was Rivals, there was Brawlhalla, which was the famous Melee HD announcement at CEO Dreamland that became Brawlhalla at Shine, which is absolutely hilarious to me. But, so that happened. I entered Wii U singles and Wii U doubles, and that was it. There was also Cruise, but I didn't really want to enter because the less I have to do at a tournament, I feel like the more time I can relax, can enjoy the city, etc. So we get in Thursday. It was pretty nice. We got some delicious food. We just prepared for doubles that was going to be on Friday, and doubles was all of Friday. It was that and Cruise were Friday, and then singles was Saturday and Sunday. So round one of our doubles pool, me and MBD play Panzer and Hybrid, and we 2-0 them, and I don't remember who they play. I really need to start writing these down so I can remember. I should probably do that. Round two, which was the winter semis of our pool, we had to play Caro and Refried Jeans, which again was a 2-0, and again I don't remember who they played. And then in the winners finals of our pool, we played against Ralphie and Zone, that was being a Cloud Mewtwo team, and we won that pretty handily as far as I remember. Yeah, I mean, nothing too extreme there, we didn't body them, but we didn't, it wasn't close as far as I remember, so we won that pretty solid, and I was very happy about that. Then the next round, so we're in top 24 right now, and we play against Waddy and Dark Wizzy, the Mewtwo Mario, obviously, and that was an incredibly close set. Game 1, we barely clutch out. Game 2, they barely clutch out. I'm pretty sure both were won by 2v1s. I think MVD won a 2v1 the first game, or I won a 2v1, I don't remember. And then I think Waddy won a 2v1 the second game on Battlefield. Yeah, that's for sure correct. Waddy's just so hard to hit in doubles, but we ended up taking game 3. We got a pretty early lead, and we were just able to play with that the whole time. So I'm very, very happy with that. And then next we played Cosmos and Locust, obviously Ryu Korin, and we played them at SmashCon, but unfortunately this time we lost. We beat them at SmashCon, but here they were just not messing up as much as I mentioned in the last wrap-up, oh, they were messing up and they weren't getting as much team combos. Here they definitely were. I was a little too aggressive on landings, and I died a lot for it and took a bunch of damage and then ended up dying for it. So that was unfortunate. So we ended up dropping to them in winners quarters, where we have to play one more round for top 8, where we play against Biddy and Venom, Toon Link Ryu. And Biddy, before this, I didn't honestly think he was that great. I mean, he was a decently solid player, but in doubles, oh my god, he was so sporadic with his movements and everything he was doing that it was so hard to track him down. I would rather be fighting the Ryu than the Toon Link, and the Toon Link is the one you're going to want to approach, hit off stage, do that type of things, but it's nah, let me just fight the Ryu, let me risk taking 16 to 18 damage from a random hit, as opposed to fighting the Toon Link. Biddy was so scary in that scenario. We barely win that 2-1. Game 1, Game 1 we barely win. Game 2, Biddy had a really nice 2v1 comeback on FD, and then Game 3, we ended up getting a similar to Dark Wizzy and Waddy, we get a really early lead at the beginning, and then kind of just play with that the whole time. We ended up, I think, with a 3-stock, so it was pretty comfortable. It was on Lilat, which was pretty nice. And so we advanced into top 8, where we had to play immediately Kool-Aid and Matty G, being Sheik Cloud. Matty G had the most interesting recoveries ever. I obviously know Kool-Aid, super solid player. Matty G had his breakout performance in singles at SmashCon, and they were really, really solid, but we did end up winning that 3-2 to advance into losers quarterfinals, where we had to play against Mars and Zanotto, running Diddy Kong Lucario, obviously being Anubis. That's really obnoxious. They beat us at at Civil War very, very handily, and this time we did a little bit better. We were down 2-0, we win 2-1, or we win game 3 barely. I have a crazy 2v1 comeback game 4, but it was just we were dying a little bit too early. MVD was doing things that he didn't think were punishable, but ended up being punishable, would die at 20, 30, 35, something like that. I was dying, from grab to kill at 40 or something like that, and that really can't get too upset about it. I don't really get upset at gimmicks and doubles because, we can always just play better. We can gimp the Diddy Kong, we can have a really strong combo game against the Lucario, not let him come back. But Mars played that really well, or you can just play safe, super safe, and not get hit by any of them, because neither of them particularly give any offensive pressure, besides the fact that it's oh, you're scared you're gonna die at 30, and so that's pretty much what happened. So we did get knocked out at 5th place there. Obviously, again, not what we want, but top 8 is always, a nice benchmark. As long as you're making top 8, that is at least progress, and so, or at least consistency. So, proving that we are definitely a high seed in doubles, and proving that we can eventually win eventually, so we'll do that at some point. But either way, 5th place is going to be that, and let me now go into singles. But actually, before we get into singles, I do have to note the fact that I went out for dinner on Friday night to like this little farmer's market type restaurant thing, and I lost my bag there in public, which had my controller in it. So in doubles I had my controller, but Friday night I lost my controller, and so I did not have it the rest of the tournament, and because of that I was playing a little bit shaky. It didn't have the alterations that I have on my battle, which is the Battle Beaver, so I wasn't able to do quite as many of the things I would like to do. I was flubbing a decent amount. You know, I was using someone else's controller, and it's not like I'm gonna be mad at that person like, your controller wasn't exactly what I wanted, because like, if I said that, I probably just shouldn't have lost my controller in the first place. So unfortunately, I did not have my controller for the rest of singles, and let us go into the pool. So round 1, I played against Duster, who was a Lucas main, I think. Game 1 wasn't close, and I'm pretty sure game 2, I JV3'd him. Then next, I played against Legit, who was a Robin main, and obviously I have a lot of Robin experience. No, I JV3'd Legit, not Duster. I almost JV3'd Duster, but I did JV3 Legit game 2. I mean, I know the Robin matchup really well, because obviously Dath, and so I was able to do that, and it was pretty easy, just because it's like, I know all the situations where you're open and, you know, you don't know how to deal with Pikachu, and even if you do, it's still a really hard matchup, and so I was able to win that. And then next, I played against Abaddon, who was a Greninja main, and again, all these 2-0, all these fairly easily. I don't think I lost a stock. And so I was like, okay, even with this controller, I'm still playing fairly well. Again, I was flubbing, but you never know if it's, you know, your hands doing it or the controller itself. So after that, I had to play Zion, who was a Cloud main, and I 2-0'd him. I started showing a lot more of my mess-ups in this set IMO, because Zion was just a little bit better. He was a little more able to punish the mistakes as opposed to the people in pools which are slightly lower level players. And so that was really, you know, unsettling, especially because immediately afterwards I had to play JK, the strong Bayonetta main, from Vegas. And this was actually unfortunate because, you know, I win game 1, he wins game 2, pretty solid on both ends. And then game 3, I had a lot of guaranteed punishes that I tried to do, and the controller did not let me, and that included at death percent stock 1, at death percent stock 2. So I should have won, and I, you know, missed dashes that would have been dash up smash, that would have been dash thunder, things like that, and I wasn't able to get them because of the controller, and so he ended up taking it 2-1. You know, at this point, like, before I lost, I was like, okay, maybe I can just do super well, I'll do exactly as well as I do. Then I lost to JK, and I'm like, well, that wasn't really my fault, it was the controllers. And so from this point on, I'm pretty much going to be not really worried about the tournament, because, you know, I can't do as well as I want to because of this controller, so whatever, let me just play as best I can, and, you know, that's pretty much all I can hope for. And because of that, I ended up playing super well in terms of my mental game. I had to play against Hide, the Bayonetta main from Long Island. Very good, had a lot of upsets. I think he beat Raffi and Saj were the 2 notable players that he beat to make it to top 48, and that was a 3-0 really strong. He obviously didn't really know what he was doing versus Pikachu, but either way, I played incredibly well that set. I advanced, and then next I had to play Pink Fresh. So all the matches were on Smashville, which is first off, and it was a 3-0, pretty convincing. Game 1, I kind of destroyed his first stock. He brings it back a little bit, and I redo each time with Up Throw Thunder and win. Game 2, a 2-stock game. I got the up air fair thing that I got on Larry against him, which was really nice. You know, he said he side beat in the blast zone. I don't really know if that would have made a difference. It could have killed either way. I don't really get it enough in tournament to know when things are going to kill or not. So, you know, whatever. Game 3, again, I just played really solid Red Morwich times, Up Throw Thunders. I remember he had this little thing where I think I botted him at the very beginning, and he was like, I'm just gonna 0 to death you. And I was like, I'm at 17%, you can't 0 to death me. And then he's 17 to death me, and I'm like, oh, well, you got it. But either way, he was playing pretty well. I was just playing better, and so I was pretty happy with that win. Just because, again, you know, I didn't have my controller, and I'm like, well, I still did really well, so that was, you know, I felt really happy about that. And then after that, I had to play against Anti, and Anti I haven't played for about 1.5 years. The last time, the only time I ever played him in tournament in Smash 4 was at Frame Perfect 1, which was like in March of 2016. So this was 1 year and 5 months coming. Obviously, me and Anti do not like each other, so this match, you know, had a lot of feeling implications as opposed to like the in-game implications. I went Samus this whole set because obviously I'm very comfortable versus Zero Suit in general, so I figured he wasn't gonna go Zero Suit versus me. I like the Samus Cloud matchup and I like the Samus Mario matchup, but it was my first time playing Samus that day, and so I was playing fairly shaky in terms of my decision making, and also the controller was messing me up just a little bit, and also the extra emotion was kind of making me do a little bit more rash decisions. Game 1, I'm bodying him, and then he ends up making this super nice combo at the end, like something landing back air forward air. I died at like 45 when he was at like 150. Game 1. Game 2, I counterpicked to Battlefield, he stays Mario, I body him. Game 3, he counterpicks back to Battlefield, goes Cloud, I body him because again I don't really care about that matchup. I think I JV2'd him that game. And the games 3, 4, and 5 were actually on MVD's Periscope, so you can go check that out, I'll link it down below. So I do that. He ends up counterpicking to FD because I banned Smashville, although I should probably start banning FD and going to Smashville, but whatever. So he ends up going back to Mario. That's a very, very last hit game. And then game 5, I was up by a whole lot. He's at like 90 or 100% when he finally gets the first kill. I'm back on Town and City, which is where game 1 was. And then he ends up getting me to like 60 or 70. And then, you know, I get him to the ledge. He tries to like coin me off the top, but I'm pretty good at avoiding that because MVD goes for them a lot. So I know how to position myself in the air, and also SDI down can kind of help that because I'll get hit by more of the up B. So he tries to do that. It doesn't work. I get him off the ledge. He's at like 150 at this point, and I go for an up tilt on his ledge jump. He does a ledge hop air dodge, and he actually messed up. I'm pretty sure he meant to back air, but he accidentally got a neutral air, and so I forward smashed him for it, and I ended up taking the game, and I pop off, and I was super happy about that because again, I really didn't want to lose to him just because I don't like him as a person. You know, he's obviously a very good player, and I respect him for that, but I really did not want to lose to him, and I didn't, which was very nice. And so I end up, you know, so I knock him out at 17th, then for 13th, I had to play Wadi, and my problem that I've realized is I'm really bad at recomposing myself after emotional wins, because similar to Ally at Civil War, I practiced so much for Ally, and I finally won. I had the huge pop-off, obviously, which, by the way, thank you for the smashy still. So that happened, and then I wasn't able to recompose myself, and I played very mediocre versus Hikaru. And the same thing happened here. I had to play Wadi, and games 1 and 2, you can just see me just hit button, just hold forward, hit buttons into his face, and get punished a lot for it. I think it was a double 2 stock, so it was really bad. Then games 3, I'm like, okay, wait, let me actually stop playing like an idiot. I play a lot more passive, I play very spacing, and it ended up working. I took that game with a 2 stock, and then game 4 was fairly close. I think I ended up having him like 20 or 30% second stock. He was just, you know, a game ahead, and, you know, adapted a little bit to what I was doing in game 3, and he was able to take it. Wadi, obviously an amazing player, but that said, I also missed a lot of edge cancels, which I would not have had I had my controller, in my opinion. You know, it's one of those things that's like, in this example, I'm going to pretty much take my wins and be like, wow, I deserved those because I won even without my controller, and the losses, it's like, well, I definitely messed up a lot that weren't my fault. You know, it's not, I can prove on like, oh, I should be dashing, you know, like I'm always gonna run when I want to, but I got a lot of walks against JK, you know, I missed a lot of edge cancels versus Wadi, and so, you know, it's okay that I lost to them. You know, 13th at Shine, considering, again, the circumstances without my controller, definitely doable, but either way, the tournament overall, short of 2 mishaps that I'm going to go over in a different video, or maybe 2 different videos, because I'm going to split it because it's like one melee problem, which was the universal controller fix thing with the left and chew drama, which I don't know if I want to actually upload a video on that, but I definitely have it already recorded. And then the double Jeopardy that happened a lot in Smash 4 Top 48. Now, I am going to upload a video about that. That's probably going to be tomorrow. So besides those 2 problems, the tournament was absolutely fantastic. The location of the venue was amazing. First off, Boston is great, but second off, on the harbor, there was so much to do. There were so many great food places, there were so many bars, there was the bay. We were literally on the harbor, so the weather was absolutely fantastic. It was a brisk, you know, 68 degrees at nighttime, or maybe in the lower 60s, so it was very nice considering the Florida summer that I have to deal with. It was great. You know, the talent there was amazing, the production quality was really high. I was really glad with how this tournament run, because, you know, the first time someone runs a tournament and it's amazing, you're not exactly sure if they're going to be able to bring that to a second year, but Shine did that fantastically. You know, again, if you fix the 2 problems that you did, or that happened at the tournament, I think this is going to be one of the best tournaments of the year. You know, I feel like Shine's biggest problem, in my opinion, is the fact that if people go, hey, if there's a tournament in August that I go to, which one should I go to? I have to say SmashCon, because in my opinion, SmashCon is the best tournament of the year, but Shine is definitely a top 5. And so if you have the ability to go to both, please go to both. I would highly recommend it, especially because there aren't a lot of East Coast majors, and it happens that 2 of them are in 2 weeks apart, so that's kind of unfortunate. But Shine, absolutely amazing. I will be going back next year for sure. And yeah, that is going to be about it for this one. I hope you all enjoyed. As always, social media, Panda, and partner stuff is down below, and I will see you all next time. Bye.